Hello, YouTube viewers and Transformers fans of all ages. This is the TFN Geek coming to you with part 1 of what will hopefully be a successful part 5 live stream video review. Today we're going to be starting off my personal top 25 Transformers toys of 2018. So I'm starting on the bottom and working my way up to the top, so just bear with me as I bring out the Transformers toys that made my top 25 list of the best Transformers toys I purchased for the year 2018. So at the bottom of the list at number 25 is Power of the Primes Legends Class Shrapnel. And the reason why Shrapnel made the list is because he was the very last Transformers toy and also the very last item that I purchased at my local Kmart store before it went out of business. So Shrapnel is special to me in that regards. I almost passed him up because I do have the original version of Shrapnel and I also have his fellow Insecticons, but this new version of Shrapnel released in the Power of the Primes toy line, it has a slightly more G1 accurate paint job, and also the first toy of Shrapnel that I purchased in 2014, one of Shrapnel's mandibles, due to one of the metal pins not being shoved in all the way, was lopsided, so this version of Shrapnel is better than the first one despite just being repainted. At number 24 is a Transformers toy that came out back in 2009, but I was unable to get it until this year, and it is none other than Transformers Animated Sunstorm. So with Sunstorm, my collection of animated Seeker Jets is now complete, and Sunstorm, he is a pretty unique toy in his own right, partly because the character of Sunstorm hasn't been given that many toys over the years since he was introduced. And Animated Sunstorm is the largest toy of Sunstorm that's been released by Hasbro as far as I'm aware of. I can't remember if the Masterpiece version of Sunstorm was released by Hasbro, but yes, Animated Sunstorm, he is a pretty unique toy to own, and I'm happy that I was able to finally get him this year. At number 23, we have Decepticon Dreadwing, which is the name of the combined jet vehicle mode of the two Decepticon jets of Dreadwind and Blackwing, who was named Darkwing for the Power of the Primes toy line. For being repaints and retools of Combiner Wars aerial bots, they are pretty amazing toys. And even though the main gimmick of them of combining in jet mode, it actually ends up being the weakest gimmick of them, they are still pretty amazing toys to own. Now, some people might not agree with me putting this next toy so far down on the list, but compared to most of the other Transformers toys this year, I only got this one because he just voted fans for me, and to be honest, this next Transformers character, to me, I agree with most Transformers fans that you either love him or hate him. Me, I do like him, but for some reason, most of the other Transformers toys I purchased this year, I've enjoyed far better than. At number 22, Optimal Optimus from the Power of the Primes toy line. Now here I have Optimal Optimus in what I like to call the real-life gorilla pose, where he's walking on all four limbs, and even when you stand him upright, he does get a little back heavy with Optimus Primal forming his backpack. But yes, Optimal Optimus, he is a pretty great toy, and one of the main reasons I got Optimal Optimus was last year in 2017, I was able to purchase for Christmas Universe Cheetor and Universe Dinobot, and I also had Generations Raptrap and Rhinox when they were first released back in 2014. So with Optimal Optimus and Optimus Primal, my Season 1 Beast Wars Maximals team is now complete. So thank you, Hasbro, for releasing a new toy of Optimus Primal and Optimal Optimus as an added bonus. And at number 21, and even though this is a top 25 list, I think there's about 63 individual Transformers toys that I'm going to be bringing out and showing off, but at number 21, and here they are bringing them all in on camera really fast. And it's at number 21 from the Power of the Primes toy line. And the bots that a lot of Transformers fans were excited to look forward to getting, but here we have the Power of the Primes Pretenders. And I'm just naming them off by the primes they come up with, or the Pretender shells, not both of them, but there's 3 Autobots, Metalhawk, Landmine, and Cloudburst. Then on the Decepticon side, we have Skullgrin, Bombburst, Submarauder, Octopunch, and Bludgeon. Now I give a shout out at this point to Patriot Prime Reviews. He pointed out that the Prime Masters that Bludgeon and Octopunch come with, if you actually switch them with each other and you give Solus Prime with to Bludgeon, and I forgot who Bludgeon originally came with which Prime he came with. Which one was it? Oh yeah, Quintus Prime. So if you switch Quintus Prime and Solus Prime with Bludgeon and Octopunch, then you actually have even more G1 accurate toys to Bludgeon and Octopunch, so that's really good. Thank you, Patriot Prime, for that. And another thing that I did just because the paint job I felt made it a lot more interesting, the version of Megatronus that came with the Prime Wars Trilogy Space Shuttle Blastoff, I switched out with the version of Megatronus that actually came packaged with Bombburst. So yeah, that's really good. If there's any gripe I have with the Pretenders, I looked up on Wikipedia, and I think there were, I can't remember how many Pretenders were released in the Generation 1 toy line, but there were enough that Hasbro and Takara Tomy could have designed Pretenders for not just the 12 original Primes whose names have been identified in aligned continuity, which is what these Primes are a part of, but even the 13th Prime that came packaged with the San Diego Comic-Con version of Optimus. There's enough Pretender Transformers characters that all 13 of the original Primes could have been released like this. It's granted it ended not selling the last 5 Primes as with Pretender shells, and Onyx Prime only being available with Predaking, and Amalgamus Prime and Nexus Prime, and the legendary 13th Prime only being available with the San Diego Comic-Con of Optimus. It did give incentive for Transformers fans who needed to have, no matter what, all 13 of the original Primes and the new Prime Master forms in their collection to get the 2 most expensive toys released in the Power of the Primes toy line. At least Prima, who in the Power of the Primes toy line, Prima has been incorrectly named Prima Prime, but Prima at least is available with Punch Counter Punch. I've been debating on whether or not if I should get a duplicate of one of the Autobot Pretenders and painting it a silver or light blue to have a Pretender shell for Prima. I might consider it if I can find another duplicate of these guys. So yes, that so far has been sorry for taking those guys off for a second, but that is part 1 of my video review of the top 25 Transformers toys that I have purchased for the year 2018. And hopefully I will be able to get to the other parts before New Year's Eve, because I do want to include all of the videos in this 5-part video series done before the year ends. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This has been the TFN Geek. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with my decision to do a top 25 Transformers toy list. And if you think these Transformers toys I brought out were pretty decent Transformers toys or not, please let me know in the comments section. And just a heads up, I didn't announce it at the start of the video because I knew you probably would fall asleep and stop paying attention, but Some of the Transformers toys that made my list, they are third-party or fourth-party Transformers toys. Some of them are customs that I made, so unfortunately I'm not all the Transformers toys I'm including on this list are ones that were not released this year. And I also bought some vintage Transformers toys such as animated Sunstorm. So I apologize for that, but I wanted to give you a heads up that not all 25 Transformers toys were released for the first time this year in 2018. Also, I have not bought a single Transformers toy that was released in the Studio Series toy line, the Transformers Cyberverse toy line, or trying to think of anything else. But yeah, my main focus for Transformers collecting has been the Power of the Primes toy line and also the Siege line. I mean, some of the toys from Transformers Siege will be coming out in my list. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for part 2, and have a great day.